This is More FM. Well, one of the good fellows in CTI is Zion Dayal. A lot of people know him, of course, from One News and presenting the sports news. But last night, this happened.
Zion's ball falls, Louis wins, Zion going home.
Under different circumstances, that would be quite dramatic. But so Zion Dayal joins us in the studio. G'day, Zion.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Great to see you again.
Lovely to see you.
I mean, the last time I saw you was under pretty unfortunate circumstances, but it's nice now to be able to speak to you in this capacity. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. And I can say this with a hand-on-heart sincerity, Speedy. From the moment I arrived on the island, Zion's just always given me a lovely smile and was very welcoming, even when we were at opposition teams. You were, genuinely, mate, you were always one of those ones that I think he's playing the game, but he's just a good dude. Well, I wasn't so sure about Louis initially, if I'm honest. But
well, like the thing is for me, like looking around, and it's not just you. Like, I mean, I never ever class myself as a celebrity, so I'm standing there just thinking, like, yeah, like I've seen you for so many years. I'm a big sports fan, so I see Frank Bunce, Portia Woodman, Wycliffe. You know, I see people like Louis on social media and that, and I'm standing there just thinking, like, far out, this is cool. As scared as I was and as nervous I was to play this game, I was like, I had to look around me and be like, this is, like, this is pretty cool.
Do you think that helped or hurt you in the game, underdog?
I think it definitely helps because people, you look at other people that are around there and you think, shoot, all right, it's intimidating. Do you know what I mean? And like I played the game of a way of like, at the end of the day, if I want to win, I have to beat you all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I have to do it one way or the other. So you take on the hardest person or who I think is the hardest person first, or you do it last. It doesn't matter. I have to beat you all. I like to think I was flying under the radar until, I knocked 3 of them out, and then all of the, people were starting to pay attention. I think it definitely helped in the first few weeks just to fly under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting because we put up in the one challenge where you beat Vinny, that was quite, we were a bit shocked. And I probably underestimated Zion, to be honest. And that was a good thing for you, but then you became the giant killer. I think they called you that. Did you feel nervous in those challenges?
And I think it's, heightened by all the cameras, and it's just, there's 2 of you that are the centre of attention. But, I mean, that second time I took on Vinny, I was like, okay, when you pulled out the card, I thought, okay, this is my time to go home, give it your all, have a bit of fun. Like, even at that point, it hadn't been too long.
Yeah.
It hadn't been too long, and I thought, I've had a ball, I've had a great time. Yeah, I mean, you can't go into it half-hearted. You have to give it your all and just not worry about anyone else. And that's the way that I played the game, really. And coming up against Vinny, like, I think I said, I was like, I'll take him on. Like, I mean, it's a chance to get some confidence. It's a chance to get into the game. And I just thought, you got to give it your best shot. Like, I mean, I'm not here just to walk around, make some friends. You're here to play the game too, yeah.
You knocked out, from memory, you knocked out Portia too, didn't you? You knocked out Porsche.
One was really hard, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Speed, because, of course, the blue team, Zion's team, that would have been very difficult. Like a guy like me, to actually compete against a member of your own team that you're sleeping next to, you're spending all these hours together, that must have been quite...
Because 24 hours... Before that, I'm running a Bronco with her on the beach. We're talking about her family, my life, and then all of a sudden this big twist comes in, and even that was difficult. And then I think you probably saw by my reaction, yes, it's a game at the end of the day, so I was happy, but I was like, I'm not going to see one of my good friends again, not for a wee while, at least on this game. So it was a thing of, I was happy, but it was also, I was really sad, and I think I said to her afterwards, I was like, I'm sorry, like, I mean, but she's a competitor and she understands. And
she rang me, she said, Zion's a tool. She really hates you.
Well, that's when I thought, when that episode came out, a few of my colleagues at work said, like, you've blown our chance to probably ever interview Portia Woodman, Wycliffe and the Blackfern again. So, yeah, that was noted. I think it was worth it. I'm not sure.
One thing that I've noticed from all these chats that we've done is that everyone seems to say the same thing, right? That people like me watching the TV show on the screen just think it's a bunch of people running around, throwing some balls at each other on the beach, whatever, having a bit of fun. It's not that serious. But everyone seems to say that on the show, it's a totally different thing when you're in it. You make all these lifelong friends, like you mentioned before, on the show. Is there something about yourself that you learned that you didn't think you would?
I felt like a bit of a fraud being there because I don't I don't consider myself as a celebrity. I've never considered myself as, I do my job. I work in the news, and the story's never about me. It's always about the story that you're telling. And then all of a sudden it becomes me on the other side of the camera, and I am the center of attention, and that's something that's, new to me. But I think I found that I deserve to be there. There are people that do, watch the news and that do enjoy my work. I felt that after being there. Initially, I did feel like a bit of a fraud being there, but I felt like the way I played the game, I backed myself. I have to do that in real life, and you have to back your personality and back what you're doing. And I think I really, that was something huge that I took away from the show. And I've been blown away by the support and just people coming up to me and saying how much they enjoy the show and how much they enjoy watching me play, and especially my family. I've got so many messages, and between Monday and Wednesday, if it makes them happy, and it makes that's what makes me happy. So if I've learned something about myself through that, is that I did deserve to be there. I'm not, I shouldn't have felt like a fraud. But I think that's one thing I took away.
Last thing, and we've not discussed this with any of the other celebrities when they've been eliminated, but and you don't see this on the show, Speeder, but it's legitimate. When you lose a challenge, you don't get to say goodbye to the team apart from that instant moment. You give them a hug and that's it. You don't go back to a hotel together and commiserate and have a few drinks. You get whisked away and you stay in a motel for the night, and then you're flown back to your home. That night when you're lying in the Kaitaia hotel or motel or bedsit or whatever it was, what was going through your mind? You were done, the show was finished. What were you thinking?
I was actually just quite sad, because you get so close to everyone, and all of a sudden when we say goodbye, that's the last I'm going to see of them, for that amount of time. And I was just thinking how cool that was, because initially when I got asked to be on the show, I said no, and then I thought, actually no, like how many opportunities do you get to do something like this? And I said yes, and it was just reflection. I was just thinking how cool that was, the friends that I'd made. And it was actually quite, like, as much as I wanted to go back home and see my partner and my friends and family, it was nice to have a moment just to be like, wow, that happened. And 1,000 things were going through my head, to be honest. And, now that it's all said and done and over the last few weeks watching it, it's just brought back so many happy memories. I remember talking to Vinny, and I was like, watching this makes me want to go back. It makes me want to go and see everyone again, and maybe with a bit more food, the next time round. But it was just, it was really happy. I was just, even since I've, been eliminated, it's just been, I'm sad it's over, really. I'm really sad.
No, it's really nice. I've just got a text here from Portia saying, get this guy off.
I actually text Portia when I said, look, sorry, but it's great to meet you, and Vodafone must be down because it still must be sending great.
Diane, you are a good man, mate. It's really, really nice to see your face and have a yak with you. Thank you for coming on the show with us.
And
you can.
It's been wonderful to meet you.
That's
thanks for having me.
exceptionally kind of you, mate. Really, really kind of you to say. It means a lot to me. I hope our paths cross again for sure.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Mate, legend.
Thank you. Lovely man.
you.
Zion Dayal with your mates here. This is More FM. Zion, that was perfect. You were lovely. Exactly what
Thanks,
I expected.
guys.
I wasn't making any of that up. You could ask my children. I said you were just right from the get-go. Lovely face, exceptionally warm and welcoming to me. So much appreciated.
True story. I'm not one of his children, but I know you
that's
saying it.
Yeah.
And no, that's right back at you, Simon. Like, seriously, it's been really cool. And I'm actually really sad that tonight's my last one. It's been such a fun journey, and especially for my family.
I agree.
Yeah, no one in my family does anything like this, so but no, I really appreciate it, man. And if you're ever up in Auckland, please let me know. It'd be great to see
I will.
you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Zion.
All right, thanks, guys.
Go
See
on.
ya.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week.
You too.
See ya.
Bye. Nice fellow, eh?
Yeah, lovely guy.